Hey everyone, I'm Skotti from Skotti RNY, and this is my week 330 post-op Roux-en-Y gastric bypass and maintenance update. Yes, hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. Like I said, I am Skotti, and it's been a month since I've been here, 4 weeks or so, for my monthly check-in now with you guys. Yes, how are you guys doing out there? How am I doing? I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. What's happened in this past month? Well, let's see. It was the Canadian Thanksgiving, so I didn't have any Thanksgiving meal, no pies to be tempted with, so that was okay. No big heavy meals, so that was okay. Halloween, a couple of days ago, and I noticed something yesterday when I was going to the grocery store, and I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm walking into the grocery store, and I don't even have that urge, thought, whatever, temptation of what chocolate is on sale after Halloween. I normally always do that. It's like, oh, I gotta go find the chocolates that's on sale, right? Because they always drop the prices when they have the leftovers. I never even thought of that as I walked into the store, and I never went and looked while I was in the store. But it's amazing how something like that was always so important to me, I didn't have that urge, thought, or whatever this time around, so that's a good thing. So let's see, what's happened in this past month? Well, food funeral, as some of you may have done before surgery, and maybe after surgery as well a few times down the road, but that, you know, I have to have that one big meal, or a week of big meals, whatever, before I have surgery or before I go on a diet or a change of food lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. So I had a food funeral a few times. It took a little while to kind of get in sync with trying to have a better, healthier eating lifestyle. Just when we thought the food funeral was going to be like, say, this weekend, and everything was going to start fresh on Monday, the next Monday, it didn't really happen. Wasn't ready yet. Didn't do this, didn't get ready for that, whatever. So that happened a few times. But yeah, it's just really weird because you have that buildup, and if you've ever done it, you know that feeling where it's just like, I've got to eat everything because I'm not going to have it anymore, or at least you think you're not going to. So kind of went off, you know, not the deep end, but went offside a little bit, just trying to make sure that I was going to get certain things that I probably won't have again, which I probably will down the road, but maybe in moderation. So that happened, but that was okay. I did go to the addiction counselor, like I said in my last video a month ago, that I was going to possibly go see one, so I did. And it was good, and just talking to her made me realize a few things again, how bad my addiction is, and how, you know, I fall in that category just like other people with their addictions, whether it be drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. It's those cravings and those thoughts that are just hard to escape. One thing I really need to focus on is I need to interrupt that thought process of going to get chocolate, because I would always manage to find chocolate in the grocery store and find a reason to put it into the basket and buy it. So I need to come up with something to stop that, to interrupt that thought before I actually go ahead and do it. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. And it's a great concept. Don't get me wrong, of course it's all cognitive, and that's the hard part. So convincing myself, really, I think for me that's what I'm calling it. I'm convincing myself, I need to convince myself that I don't need to have that. I need to find out that interruption, you know, so that I don't go ahead and do it. That's a little tricky, and I guess, and I never thought of it this way, but I guess it's true. She did say that realistically, to be like as successful as you can be, you need to get rid of chocolate 100%. And I'm like, well, no, like you can still have a little bit, but that's just harm reduction, right? Ah, damn. if someone's, addicted to meth, you're not going to tell them, hey, it's okay, just cut back, just have a little bit. No, they need to cut it out completely. And we know that. People that have the drug addictions, they need to cut it out completely. People that are alcoholics, they need to cut it out completely. Never thought of that with food, with chocolate. No, why would I have to cut it out completely? I can just reduce. But really I can't. Even though I am and going to, that whole thought of I have to cut it out completely, I don't know if I honestly can do that. To be honest with myself and to you guys, I don't know if I could do that. Because that's just kind of like, oh yeah, I would have to cut it out completely. Oh, I don't know. Can I go for the rest of my life without chocolate? Oh, so I better figure out a way to get this cognitive thing going to interrupt to learn how to have smaller amounts. And that's the thing that went through my mind over and over again, while going through all that. So that's the tricky part, but we'll work on that. So we started eating healthy again, planning some meals, doing some food prep. Not a lot, because I found before doing food prep was overwhelming. I would have a freezer full of something that was just never like, oh my gosh, I ate it 3 times this week. I still have 4 more in the freezer for whenever, whether it be once a week. Like, I can't. But this time, really happy with the food that's being made and the few things that are being left in the freezer instead of a whole lot. So that's going really well. And that's a happy point because of being on track that way and paying attention again to what I'm eating and making that effort there to go through it all. And that's what we need to do. And that's what I am doing. So slowly but surely it's going to work. Yes, it is. I believe that. So I should cut out chocolate altogether. Oh, yes. So a couple weeks ago, I was out taking someone to an appointment, and while I was waiting in the car, I was like, okay, well, I brought some snacks with me because I'm eating healthy, right? So I had some clementine, and I had a protein bar. I know it's the chocolate thing, but again, we're not going to get past the whole chocolate thing right now. Whatever. So I ate the clementine. That was fine. About 15 minutes later, and I'm still just waiting in the car because I knew it was going to be about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. So I tear off a little piece of the protein bar, and these are the ones that I ate all the time, and the ones that I got addicted to a few years ago. Tear off a little piece, chew it up, swallow it. Tear off another little piece, chew it up, swallow it. This was about a quarter of the bar. And, okay, so then it's time to go. So I pick the person up, I take them back home, and then I'm going back to work. And as I'm going back to work, I'm like, yeah, I got this like feeling, not in my chest, but just below like my diaphragm. And I'm like, it felt like a ball. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? So when I got to work and I got out of the car, and I'm like, I could barely stand up straight because it was there. So I go into work, and a couple of them are looking at me going, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, I think I've got this blockage. That's the only thing I could think of. I think I've got a blockage of food. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, you're pointing to your chest and all that. And so, they go get the health nurse, and the nurse like, yeah, I'm not so sure about this, we should have you checked out, and the only way we can do that is to call a code. And I'm like, we're not calling a code. And I was like sweaty and gray and all that. And so I agreed to go down to the Emerge. So I went down to Emerge, and they did ECG, chest x-ray, ultrasound, blood test, am I having a heart attack? What the hell is going on? And then they got me on some drugs just to kind of help me out. I forget the heck what it was called, but it was almost like a ibuprofen along that line, which they know about being a bariatric patient, and they know that, bariatric patients can have certain drugs when needed. So if we're not supposed to be having ibuprofen type drugs regularly, if you need it, you'll get it, and I'm fine with that, and they're fine with that too. So they gave me something just, to help ease the pain, and it was just like so uncomfortable. And they're like, yeah, well, we're not really 100% sure, so we're going to send you for a CT of your whole chest right down to your waist. And so did that. And anyways, long story short, no heart attack. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with my gallbladder that they could see on the CT. And maybe a couple of gallstones, but that wouldn't have been that pain. And they didn't really see a blockage in the bypass area, so they weren't really sure. But I know, I've never had a feeling like that before, but if you've ever had a something stuck, even just a little bit, or hard going down, if you knew you didn't chew it up enough, it's just like, yeah, I know that feeling. That's what that was. And I'm like, I just know it is. So 6 hours later, everything is quote-unquote fine with me. They don't need to keep me around, so I go back home. And it was a terrible night. It was absolutely a terrible night. I was just tossing and turning. Oh, and because being in there, I didn't want to drink, any water or whatever in case they had to do something surgery-wise. Don't want to drink. I was so flippin' dehydrated. My legs were cramping up. My hips were cramping up. Oh, it was terrible. I was so, my muscles were just gone. So that night of sleep was terrible. Yeah, absolutely. Made it through, but whatever. And then the next day I started to, drink a little bit more. I could feel it moving a little bit more. And I just had clear fluids and Jello, clear fluid. I don't think I had anything else. So that next day, but again, I could feel it moving a little bit more and more. I started feeling a lot better. And then, but the next day after that, I think it was a little bit of a ball somewhere in there. And again, I know that when it started here, it kind of had moved, so I know everything was going in the right spot. So a couple of days of discomfort, the first day for sure, and then it was gone. But of course, one of the first things that came to my head was people that I know of in my local bariatric group, have had blockages, strictures, and so they've had to go and get a scope done. And I was just like, well, if I have to, if it gets that bad, I will go back and tell them that. But it never did. So I got past that. What a hell of an experience. The protein bars, I think I only had 3 left anyways from the box. I gave them away. I just don't want to take that chance anymore. I don't want to take that chance, and I have no idea what caused it. The only thing I can think of was just the way I was sitting in the car waiting, and it just didn't have a time to process, right? Because it doesn't really process at all in the stomach; it shoots right through. So, that was definitely interesting. I wasn't scared, but I was just like, wow, this is, yeah. So be it. That was fine, Danny. So because of not eating, well, hey, that kind of helped with my weight. And speaking of weight, so here are my stats for this past month. I'm 6'2", 51 years old. My highest weight ever recorded was 419 pounds in August of 2014. I had surgery July 7th, 2015 at Humber River Hospital in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. My surgery weight was 340 pounds. My weight loss surgery goal weight was 219 pounds, which I originally reached that goal at week 33. My highest regain weight ever was in May of 2020 at 295 pounds. But lo and behold, I went off the deep end this past month before all this blockage stuff. And my highest weight ever recorded was October 2021 at 298 pounds. Yeah. Oh boy. My sustainable goal weight, I would like to be 240 pounds. The last time I checked in, I was 289 pounds. Yeah, I had to double, 289 pounds. Am I really sure? Yeah, because I was up 6 the time before. So I was 289 pounds, that's right. This month, I am 283 pounds. So making my loss from last month of 6 pounds, but making a loss from my highest weight ever or from my highest regain weight, which is what? 16 pounds? I don't know, how's my math? 13 pounds. 16 pounds. 15 pounds. 15 pounds! There, 15 pounds. Wow, that was a real struggle. From my highest regain weight. Yes, so making my loss from surgery of 57 pounds and a total loss from my highest weight ever recorded of 136 pounds. So yeah, my highest regain weight ever was 298 pounds. And I knew it. I just was totally offside. Because remember before, I was going through a problem with the M&Ms, and it still took a bit, to get past that. So 298 pounds, but back on track eating. So now 283 pounds, and feeling a lot better about myself. Because even the clothes fit better again. Like 15 pounds is 15 pounds. I'm not even near where I need to be or want to be, but just that has made a big difference. Holy crackerjack, I tell you. So it's been a real interesting month, to say the least. Let's see what else was going on here. So I had that Emerge visit. Chocolate, I really don't know if I'm going to cut out the chocolate altogether. I've had some fat-free, calorie-reduced Jell-O pudding. And I think I had kind of had that. No, that's part of my healthier way. Out of a 4-pack, I've only had 2, maybe 3. So, and that's over the course of 2 weeks now. So that's good. But yeah, otherwise I think I've been really good. So that's good. I don't think I'll ever cut chocolate completely. So harm reduction it is. But it's about being smarter up there about it. I think that's a big part of it. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, started eating healthy again, planning. Yeah, cut the chocolate, cut the crap. Yeah. So that's it for this month. Definitely a roller coaster, but a happy ending, which is the key thing. So thankful for that. That's right. Anyways, thanks again, you guys, for subscribing and watching and being here. I do really appreciate your support. It's great to come back. And I think, again, still the 1 month thing is really good. We can catch up on everything all at once like that. Sorry for drawing it out, but that's the way it goes. Yeah. Anyways, you guys have a great month. We'll see you again next time. And remember, not every day is fantastic, but at least I have the opportunity to live every day. Until next time, take care and bye-bye.